You know what's still crazy to me? That in 2020, you still hear on a daily basis, it's the first time an African American been given an opportunity to do something in this country.
This wisdom-filled individual is recording artist and entrepreneur Plies, and he's spot freaking on.
It is overwhelming in a way to think of the barriers that have been broken, not only the glass ceiling, but in an era of such a racial reckoning in the United States, to have a person of color in the vice presidency.
Like California Senator Kamala Harris.
You know, this is the first time a person of color has, occupied, and been given the job of Secretary of National Defense. Or, this is the first time a all-black officiating crew has reffed Monday Night Football.
Referring, of course, to the history that was made that should have taken place eons ago.
Last night's Los Angeles Rams and Tampa Bay Buccaneers game was a historic one. It was the first time in NFL history that an all-black officiating crew worked a league game.
But instead occurred November 23rd of 2020.
And I be thinking to myself, I said, man, it is 2020 and you still hearing this is the first time on a zillion fronts that an African American has been given an opportunity to do something.
They said that this moment was not possible.
Like the first openly gay LGBTQI plus black member of Congress, Mondaire Jones.
And so I'm proud that I'm going to contribute to the diversity of the world's greatest legislature, the United States Congress.
And fellow first openly gay LGBTQI plus member, Richie Torres.
I said, you know what you never hear? You never hear, ever, in 2020, that this is the first time a white person has, you would never hear, this is the first time a white person has, enrolled at FAMU University, or this is the first time non-person of color has played running back in the National Football. Like, you never hear that. You would never hear that. Because white people have done everything it is to do in this country, not because they better than us or more gifted or more talented, but the opportunity.
It's true. You may hate hearing it, but it's true. It's because this nation was founded on structural racism, instituted practices of white supremacy, and hindered everyone else's experience to grow on this stolen land. I mean, when slaves were shipped over, the founders viewed them as 3/5 of a man. The fix was in from the start.
But that's crazy to me in 2020 that this is the first time for a person of color to have done. And I tell you all you need to know about this country.
When segregation and employment discrimination were made illegal by the Civil Rights Act of 1964, racism didn't end. It was cloaked in code words and protected by race-neutral policies.
I mean, racism we know exists.
American Progress wrote in one of their articles, African American workers still face more hurdles to get a job, never mind a good one, than their white counterparts. They continue to face systemically higher unemployment rates, fewer job opportunities, lower pay, poor benefits, and greater job instability.
Message for the president. What I find so interesting about what's going on right now, you got a man who running around here saying something was rigged against him. If anybody should be saying something rigged against them in this country, it should be black folk.
Being black or brown in America means you're more likely to grow up in poverty, striking a lasting blow to your career opportunities and ability to build wealth.
Something that has been rigged against us. This system has been rigged against us since day one, and everybody knows it.
The throes of white supremacy manipulate the system and also dictate who gets hired for what position. In 2016, Caucasian workers held 77% of good jobs, those that pay family-sustaining earnings, according to the report, in the U.S., even though they collectively held 69% of all jobs. Black workers held 10% of those jobs, even as they held 13% of all jobs. Latino workers held 13% of good jobs, while they held 18% of all jobs. The inequality, the wealth gap, policing, imprisonment, the 13th Amendment, everything Plies says is merit in nothing but factual information and the raw deal non-white folks have inherited in this country we claim to be great. It is not great. It hasn't been great for all, and it's time we acknowledge this to put better practices in place to be more inclusive, not less, and hopefully these firsts he talks about can be yesterday's news. It's time. It's simply been time.